I was born in Brussels, Belgium, January 8th, 34. And I had a very happy childhood until the Nazi came in.
The star.
The star. Everyone was wearing a star.
What did your non-Jewish friends...
And everybody was looking at us, of course. And when I wanted to have a good time and play with the other kids, I would take off the star. And my mother would yell and scream, and she said, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. You are a Jewish little girl, and you must wear the star. That's what they want. That's what they want. I remember just she telling me that. And I said, but the kids don't want to play with me if I wear this. And until that note came from the school that we could not go to school, that's when really the whole thing started. And my mother, right away where we lived, the landlady had a nephew who was a priest in a little town outside Brussels. And she contacted the landlady, and she said, you know, they're taking away the children. All Rachel's little Jewish friends are going. Can you do something about my daughter? Can you take her, hide her somewhere? And the lady says, yes, I have this nephew who's a priest. Yeah, I will ask him. And that was the arrangement. I remember my father crying like a baby in the middle of the street while he was taking me to those people and to strangers. And he explained to me, don't forget, you're a Jewish little girl. We're going to see you again, but you must do that. You must go away. And we're doing this for you best. Because, of course, I couldn't understand. My mother was crying. And only my father could take me and explain to me, you got to go. This is for you good. This is for you good. This is the best for you. So I went on the tramway with those people. And this was just before my birthday. And the last time I saw my father was on my birthday. He took a chance and went to the priest's house to see me. And he had sewed up a little suit for me. As I told you, he was a tailor. And he came in, and I was hiding behind the door. I wanted to surprise him. And the priest said, oh yes, I changed my name. My name was no more Rachel, of course. It was Rosa Lefleur. That was my first name. I had about 3 other names. And it was Rosa Lefleur. And the priest, Theodor Kunsch, I see him right in front of me. I love him. He says, Rosa, Rosa, come on. I have a surprise for you. And I said, oh, really? And I was scared. I thought maybe something would happen. And I hid behind the door. I didn't know it was my father. Then I heard his voice. And there he was. And the last time I saw my father, he had his suit for me. And he had a little watch on the suit. It was green. I will never forget it. And my mother could not come because they were arresting people all over. And if they came as a couple, they would have arrested them together. But they were arrested the week after. And they were sent to Malines. And how they were arrested, I have to tell you the story. As I told you, the landlady who got the priest to save me could not take the pressure. And she went to the Gestapo. Yes? This is a fact. And she went to the Gestapo, and she said, you must come to my house. I'm hiding Jews. Come and get it. People went that far to denounce other people, to hurt other people, to actually build things, to destroy human race. And by the way, not only Jewish people suffer. I mean, I can tell you, nuns were shot. And the mother of my priest, I call him my priest, she was ironing my clothing one day, and the Gestapo came in, and they said, we know you're hiding a Jewish child. And she said, absolutely not. I am not. You can look all over. I'm not hiding a Jewish child. They put her in front of the house, and 6 Nazis were, I saw it from my own eyes because I was down in the cellar. And she said, no, you can shoot me. I don't have a Jewish child here. And this was the mother of the priest. So there were people that were so courageous, so marvelous, and yet the contrary is so absolutely disgusting that it's too much of a difference of human being. I don't understand how you can call the whole thing human race. It's monsters, and then there's the human beings. It's weird. I feel very weird sometimes. I feel weird because I say to myself, why did I come out of it? I mean, if my mother had said, let's hide together, I wouldn't be here. It's so strange. It's just absolutely very strange. It was Valentine's Day, and in the Catholic religion, I mean, I was in the convent by now. In the Catholic religion, it's a big holiday, of course, and all the children are supposed to walk and have a good time together, and you choose a mate for the day, kind of, and you have this big basket, and everybody grabs a name from the basket, and that's who you're supposed to go the whole day with, you know, to play with and to go with. And in the middle of this happy affair, the priest came in the room, and he called me over and he says, Rosa, Rosa, don't tell anyone, but I must take you away. Don't tell anyone that where you're going, who you're going with. Don't say a word, just come with me. And I said, I want to have a good time. What you talk? I don't want to go with you. You know, I'm having a good time. No, you must come, you must come. And of course, I went. He took me to Mons. That was a town. And we walked day and night. We would stop in farms at night and sleep on the floor, wherever. And there would be always someone to give us food. And that's where he told me that my parents had been taken, that I will not hear from my parents for a while, and that I just had to do what he said to me to do. He will take me to another convent, to another, where there will be other children and all, not to tell anyone. So we got to Mons, walking. I don't know how we got there, but we were walking constantly.
How far?
I really don't know how far it is, Brussels from Mons.
Wow, approximately.
I could not say, can't think straight.
Never mind.
It was a few days and a few nights. And we got there. The first thing the nun did, they changed my name again. There I was Geneviève Lebrun. And I said, why do I have to change names like this? But that's what it was, Geneviève Lebrun. That's where first I went to church, I went to Mass, I went to communion, I went to confession. They told me to be a little girl in a convent. Forget what was the past. That's what you live now, and you are hidden, you are hiding, and you must be like the other children. And I went to Mass, and I loved it, by the way, because it was a life with other people. I wasn't running anymore. I was settled a little bit. And I liked that. I must say, I was very happy there. I remember things, very tender moments with nuns who came at night to dock me, to cover me, and said, Geneviève, ne pleure pas, ne pleure pas. And I remember they would teach me in the dark how to go to Mass because I didn't know what to do, and they would say, you must learn because all the other children will find out that you don't know how to do this. And you must know how to do this because, you know, you're here now. And I love them all. I mean, I have moments, beautiful moments. Then I went to another convent and many other places, always walking during the night, following people who would take us to those places, until we hit Louvain. Louvain is a seminar. It's a very big convent, and it's a seminar. They teach the priests to become priests, and they have 6 nuns who cook for them, and I have this little house on the side who cook for them and make the laundry and all that, and that's where I was with those nuns. And one day the Gestapo came in, and the Carmelite, they were Carmelite nuns, And as you know, the men cannot go there. It's one of their rules. They cannot see men. And they knock on the door, and we wonder with the guns and all, that we want a Jewish child. We know you have a Jewish child there. And the nuns say, absolutely not. Absolutely, we don't have anybody here. And they broke the door. And what I will never forget is that the 6 nuns, they had big basket of laundry that they carry, 3 on the side, because there was a lot of laundry for all these priests. And they pushed me in that laundry to hide me. And they put all the linen on top. That happened like in 1 second. And that's how I was safe, in that basket. And they play a game, like they were carrying the laundry. And the Gestapo was looking all over. And I was in that basket, with the laundry on top of me. And that's one way I escaped that time. But then for some reason, it started all over. And I had to keep on going from one place to another. Now, why they wanted a 7-year-old child, I will never understand, never. And other children, of course, also. And many children, as a matter of fact, went back on weekends. Their parents wanted to take them on weekends. They never came back. We never saw them. Probably they were arrested.
Were they Jewish? Did you
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
you
yes.
knew? How did you know?
Well, there was something that we knew for some reason. We didn't want to tell openly, but we knew, we had a feel, kind of. It's difficult to explain. We had that, like we didn't know exactly what to do in church. We were not like the other children. We didn't know when to go on our knees and things like that. So we knew, like this little girl, you know, said she wanted a piece of chocolate. She didn't have chocolate for a long time. And I said, gee, me too. How come we don't get chocolate and we don't get visitors on weekends? And that's how we find out. Nobody came to see us on a Sunday. All the other children, their parents came to see, and we had nobody. Another priest took me to this other house, and then I wind up in the Ardennes. All the way, and always walking. I mean, that's all what I remember, walking at night with different people. Don't ask me their names because I do not know. And I wind up in Virton, which is in the Ardennes. There I was sent to this marvelous family. They never had children before, never. The minute I walk in there, I feel like I was one of them. The feel I have for those people is absolutely incredible. When I came to their house, I was so used to going to Mass in the morning, to 6 o'clock in the morning Mass, that I would beg them to wake me up and send me to Mass 6 o'clock in the morning, because I was used to it in the convent. And I loved it, and I would cry if they did not wake me 6 o'clock in the morning.
Did they know you were Jewish?
Yes. This man was with the Resistance, the Belgium Resistance. In his youth, he was a colonial in the Congo. He had seen a lot of danger in his youth. And when the Nazi came into Belgium, he was one of the Resistance. He used to blow up bridges and, you know, whatever he could do. And when he heard there was need to hold a little child, he took me in. There also, I changed my name again. In Virton, I was Marie-Rose Dupont. Why? I mean, the whole thing is so absolutely incredible. And as I grow older, it's getting worse. It's absolutely getting worse. And to this day, he writes to me, Marie-Rose Dupont sometimes. And I begged him, call me Rachel, call me Rachel. I mean, you know, this is a long time, call me Rachel. And I still get letter, Marie-Rose. Ma chère petite Marie-Rose. Like I was a child of his. And one day, after 9 months, the war was over, 9 months, I'm sitting there in the classroom. And this nun walks in. And without a word, she just looked at me. And I just knew my mother was right there. For 2 weeks before, I had made such a life. I could not sleep. I was screaming, my mother, and for 3 years, I never even thought of them. To me, my parents had left me. And I was very mad at my parents, because I didn't understand. to me, I was only a child, and they had left me to all these strangers. And it was hurting me very much. And all what I remember, I didn't want to see my mother, because to me, she had left me. Little did I know that if I had gone with her, we would have been both in the oven, because that's what they would do. They would put the mother and the child right in the oven. But those days, all what I knew, as a child, she had left me. And when I saw her, I didn't even want to go to her. She was right there in the principal's office from the convent, and emaciated. I mean, I didn't even know it was my mother, only they told me it was my mother. And it took me a long time to understand that she saved my life, that if she didn't hide me, I wouldn't be here to tell you the story. I just wouldn't. So it took me a long, long time to get to thank her for having done that. A long time. And my mother was in Auschwitz 3 years. My father didn't come back. And you asked me, how did I know about Mrs. Marinos, about that landlady. After my mother took me from the convent, they had a few friends who took that room the Red Cross had given them. Of course, they had nothing. And the Red Cross was taking care of them, giving them clothing and all that. And we slept on the floor, I must say. 3, 4 women and I, all friends of my mother, also from Auschwitz. And one day my mother says, you know, we have to go back to see Mrs. Marinos. We went back, we rang the bell. The lady opened the door. She looked at us like we were ghosts. She fell on the floor. She kissed my mother's feet. She didn't know what to say. She says, I did that to you. I did that to you. I am the one who denounced you. Will God ever forgive me? I will never forget that scene. Never, never. And then when my mother said, I know it's you who gave us sin, because one of the Gestapo said, we know you are Jews because the landlady told us so. But when she fell on her, when she saw us, she could not believe we were alive. She couldn't believe it. And she admitted that she did that. My mother was only 30 years old. And she was a beautiful woman. She still is. And that is kind of how a person can see so much and be still, you know, happy sometimes. She has sad eyes. She's not in good health, of course. But how can a person like that go back to life after seeing such horrors? Has always been very intriguing to me. After the war, as I told you, the Red Cross helped all these people, IAS and all these organizations came about. And my mother met her second husband, who also came out from Auschwitz and lost his wife in Auschwitz, on the line to get food in the Red Cross place where they would get food. And that's where she met her second husband. And they married. And a few years later, they had a son, which I think is absolutely incredible, because the two of them with a number and coming from hell, and they have this beautiful boy. After that, I think I believe in God when I think about my brother. I really think that it's really, you know, they both came out from hell, and they have this continuation there, this beautiful boy. It's amazing.
You were brought up really for a good part of your young life as a Catholic. How do you feel now about being Jewish?
It's a very difficult question. I thought of it many, many times. I identify more as a human being, I would say. I think I'm a good person, and I help people, and that's what I want to do. I don't care if I'm Catholic, Jewish, or whatever. I want to finish my life as a good person and help people the way I can.
Children?
To be children, oh yes, I work a lot with children.
You have children?
I have children. I have 3 beautiful children.
They raised Jewish?
Yes, they are, but they know all about the past. They know about the beautiful people who saved my life. And one problem with that, they are confused also. And that's the truth. And I can see why. I really can see why.